So what, so then, let's go back, and when you went in the Army, I'm curious about,
Well, when I
you went on
went
active duty, and what was it, do you remember what month it was in 40?
December 19, let's see, 19, December 1940, thereabouts.
Okay.
Yeah, about a year to the nail almost before I was headed for overseas.
Mhm.
And I went down there and got a place to live, got a month's check, pay.
Well,
back,
they
picked
gave
up.
you a month in advance?
No, I had to work a month. I didn't have money, and I scrimmaged around one way or another, and I had money in my pocket, buy gasoline, drive up and get y'all, bring it back down.
Mm-hmm.
And remember we had the dog, Prince?
Did we have Prince then?
Yeah.
When did you get Prince?
Well, Prince, I got him when you were about 2 years old.
Oh, so we had Prince, that's right, we did, I remember Prince.
And
Yeah.
I went to Bonham, and Dwight says, "Boy, I'm glad you're here. Prince hadn't eaten in weeks. I've been gone at least 2 or 3 weeks. He said he won't eat." And then I drove up, opened the door of the car. He got in the car and get out. He wasn't leaving. So I went and got something to eat, fed him. He ate like a pig. But he wouldn't eat nothing but Dwight. Drink water, and that's all. So I figured I had to take him back with me, so I did.
Well, Prince was my buddy.
Yeah, no. We took him in the car. You used to pick him up and out of your bed and pulling him like out of your baby bed, you know. You were there. He'd get him by the hair. You would get him, drop him, yap, yap, yap. When he was little, he was a good dog. Well, when I first got down there, I had to put him on chain. Backyard. You may remember it. You don't. I don't know.
I remember, the thing I remember the most is changing your boots.
Change what?
When you wore those high-top boots,
Yeah.
they had the polish all the time, and the saddle soaps, and
Yeah.
all of the, and I remember all the time, because you used to make me get on your damn boots when you were trying to take your boots off.
Yeah.
And I remember viciously, well, getting kicked in the butt to take off his boots.
Oh, so that he could take them off.
Well, it was convenient to, rather than taking that block and do it.
Mhm.
And anyway, it worked out.
I'm glad I was good for something.
And then we had him chained down the chain out there. He couldn't get loose.
Yeah.
We kept him there for, I don't know how long. Did we move from there somewhere else? No. We were there till we left.
That's right.
Well, I know we had to take,
You may have had some leave before you went over.
we took Prince up the Bond and left him again. And that's when he was chasing all over town trying to find us, and the car finally hit him and killed him.
Oh,
No,
Oh,
no, that's not
no.
true.
Huh?
Because we got back from, no, he was killed after we were back.
was he killed, Charlie?
Yeah, he
After
was,
back in Bonham.
yeah, but that's after we were back from San Francisco.
You and your mother.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, because he was there when we got home.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, Johnny
Well,
was
they had-
with him.
yeah,
We had about
yeah.
They weren't
a week,
upset
2 weeks leave or something.
when they went.
Well, now see, now, I'm beginning, I remember a little bit of this. Okay.
Remember
you're-
going, driving to Frisco?
Yeah,
Did you, all three of you go?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, see, now, you're into my memory domain now, because, I remember that we went out to the ranch
On the way.
on the way,
Maybe you.
and, I also remember going out to, well, I don't know, you tell the story, because I.
Well, we allowed plenty of time to get out there, number one.
Mhm.
I think we allowed 12 days or 10 days, 2 weeks or something. So we drove and went by all the chemicals we could see on the way out,
Yeah,
which didn't reach past about Roswell.
well, we had, what kind of car did you, it was a Buick, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep. I
It
think
was
it
a
Buick, yeah.
40
about a 40.
Buick.
Maybe a 35, I don't know.
It was a two-door, no?
No, it's 4-door.
I don't remember four-door.
He run pretty good, we had no problem. But anyway, after we left Carl's, New Mexico, we drove through the desert, carried extra water with us and so forth. And we're like Bakersfield, and we're gonna scoop it up this way.
Well, I remember, because now there's no air conditioning in the cars.
No,
No.
And you had to carry your own water. I remember you used to carry bags, canvas bags
Yeah, canvas
Yeah,
bag, wet 'em.
water right in,
of water.
outside
Yeah.
the car.
We had a few spares,
Yeah.
and my suitcase, a Foot Locker, I think, and y'all's clothes and so forth.
Yeah.
And 2 ducks.
And
No,
so
that wasn't the duck trip. That was later.
we got to Frisco, and we went down to what's that dock the Army had, where they shipped them all out from? What's the name of it?
Presidio?
Presidio, yeah, Presidio. We went down there, and we were given a place to stay or something down there for a night or two there. And I think we had a day or 2 or 3 more before we got details up in line. Y'all watched me on the ship to go, remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
Uh,
I remember that we drove around town,
Yeah, yeah. Looking.
looking at scenery and things. It was, you know, a big holiday.
And y'all had, we still had to drive when y'all left there. And, you know, going out of Frisco, could I imagine, turn you loose downtown Frisco, do you head somewhere? You would never get out 2 blocks away.
Not today, I wouldn't, but maybe then I
Well,
would.
by this time, Johnny's begun to look at maps and this way and that way and help out a little bit, remember?
You must have been 5 years old.
I was 5 years old.
Yeah, you was 5 years old, about 5.
Not
But,
like Jamie
but
else.
you were pretty good at watching roads and maybe not the smartest in the world at that age, but y'all fought it out of there and you got out of there and you got on the highway and
Mhm.
came home.
Yeah. Now you sailed on November the,
Twenty-first.
was it November the 21st?
November 21st,
Keep it in the car,
1940.
put them in the back
Okay.
seat.
1941.
41,
Nancy
November
Bush
21st.
is desperately trying to drive.
And where were you? You were sailing to where? Where were you going?
Oh, we're,
Your orders were?
Clinton or some funny name.
England?
No.
It has
Oh,
code
you went
word.
the other way.
Code word.
Code word.
Yeah, and I didn't know where it was, really.
You went the other way.
Anyway, when I got to Brisbane, Australia,
Well, now wait, back up. Don't go to Brisbane yet. Let's go through the trip. Because you
I got on a boat. I'm on about the 5th deck. There's probably, could have been 700 or 1,100 people, I don't know. Is the old ship that was taken over by the Americans in World War I.
Republic?
Republic. And it was transport, now transport.
Mm-hmm.
And I was probably on about the so-and-so deck, I don't know which deck is on, but in order to eat breakfast. See, first 2 or 3 days we were going, we get out about 200 miles from Frisco and we start hitting the currents. You go this way and ship goes bump, 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 just like a rough road.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the same way today.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what ship was, bump, 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 bump. And so we got those by those, and then then we got the ups and the downs out there. And part of us were partially seasick part of the time. But to eat breakfast, eating a meal, I went from way the hell up here, got to go down deck, and eat on water thaws on the ground floor. Look up there in the water, right through the window. And stuff slide across the tables, and it didn't have stuff like they got today.
Mm-hmm.
You put a table there or a glass or something, you better watch it because it'll be down there. The ships today put it there, it stays there. It's got magnetized or some other reason, and so I got along pretty good till about the
Now, see, you're a captain here.
yeah.
Okay. And you were a field artillery officer.
Yeah.
And did you know that you were going to the Philippines, supposedly? Or when did you
No.
find out?
No, I didn't. I had a suspicion. But in Brisbane, Australia, when we went downtown, there's a sign. The same word that my orders told me to go to. And I said, Jesus, I'm here. And they told me I was nuts. And they didn't know where that stands. But it was the same identical word that my orders said. And I can't think of the name of it. Unless you knew, you wouldn't know. Well, after I was in Brisbane, the second day, the adjutant of the base down there came around there and said, "You're going to board Bloemfontein this afternoon at 4 o'clock." I said, "Where's my orders?" "You got verbal orders now."
Yeah, something doesn't hang together.
Well, he skipped over the Philippines.
You
went
skipped
to
about 3
Brisbane,
years.
And went to Brisbane.
I'm telling
No, because see,
Well, I skipped getting to Brisbane from Hawaii.
well, wait, no, you
All right,
go
go
out
back.
to Hawaii.
We
okay,
arrived in Hawaii
and you went to Pearl Harbor, right? Where'd you land in Hawaii?
right down, right at the port where all the ships come in.
Honolulu.
You know where, what's the island?
Oahu?
No, the island in the middle, where the war took place.
That's Oahu.
Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor.
We came into Pearl Harbor.
Okay,
It didn't mean as much to me then as it does now, of course, but
okay.
we landed at Pearl Harbor like this afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
and they said, "When are you going to sail out?" "Don't know for sure." So we figured we had 4 or 5 hours that we could kill. It ended up that we killed for the next day.
What, you had a day in Honolulu?
And one day
Off the boat?
off the boat. But we came back and stayed on the boat
Oh, yeah.
at up certain hours, because you don't know what transportation they're going to get, and this, that, and the other. There's a lot of things you don't know.
Yeah.
First time I ever been there. So we came back to the boat that night and got back on stayed on the boat. Next day, we were told then we were going to sail at 5:30 or 6 o'clock that day. So we'll be back on board. So I got a haircut by a Japanese barber. In a barber shop, must have been 20 barbers in there.
Yeah.
And I got my hair cut with a Japanese barber, and we went straight from there back to get on the ship. It was about 5 o'clock probably. We sailed out of there at about 6 o'clock.
And what day was that?
It's on the 6th of December,
Yeah.
1941.
Now, did,
We sailed out, and from here, instead of going the usual way to the Philippines this way, we go around the island this way. And we're right over here the next morning, 7 o'clock, when the war broke out.
and I don't understand this way and that way.
Well, here's an island.
Okay.
The usual way to go to the Philippines is come out here, and Philippines over here, west.
Yeah.
Instead of coming this way, we go around the island this way. The war's imminent. We knew that.
Not there.
Did you know it? What
Oh, yeah, we knew. We heard everything was going on.
Well, no, wait a minute. What you're saying is you went around the wrong side of the island?
Yeah, we went backwards this way. What for? They told us. Where they told us to go.
Well, when you left on, it was Saturday night, huh?
I know it was Saturday.
Well, it had to
wasn't
be.
Yeah, it had to be, because it was the day.
Before
That's
Saturday.
Saturday.
it? That's right, Saturday.
They were
Okay.
bombed Sunday
So
night.
you, why, did anybody, when you sailed, though, nobody knew you were going to get bombed the next day, did they?
Oh, hell. Well, everybody knew the war was imminent.
Oh,
We
did
knew
you?
that. We didn't know the war would come the next day,
Yeah,
no.
but you didn't know you were gonna be
Uh,
attacked.
We had a
They
cruiser,
didn't either.
the Republic.
Terrible.
We had one called Coastwise Farmer that could only make 6 knots.
Oh, was there a convoy?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had about 4 ships total.
4 ships. Okay.
And then we had $1 a year Vanderbilt yacht. Got Y guns on it. Shot depth charges.
Hmm.
Okay? Now we don't know, I don't know about there, the know, but other than the fact they showed us a chart, we're going so on, that's all on you. I don't know how far, nothing. I know that from 6 o'clock this afternoon, we sailed out there, we're about on the other side over here. And we found out we thought we was going to Fiji.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the war broke out the next morning. The cruiser is busting us up, sailing right through the middle. Looks like they threw it in low gear. You know, the back of the ship down like this, and get out here about a mile, throwing depth charges going everywhere, and boom, boom, all over the place. And then it turns right around, he's going back the other way, dumped up them thing over here. And at the same time, the little Vanderbilt yacht was bumping them off out in there, and it didn't go back and forth. It stayed over here on this right side. And the cruiser was making back and forth. Meantime, we're turning a little this way, and we're going back a little this way. We're turning a little over here, and we're going a little here, back over here. In one 24-hour period, they said we made 17 miles. So we're back and forth, and they had said they had a Jap sub over here, and a Jap sub over here, and they were keeping away from the convoy. And they're out there, I used to say about a mile, it may have been a mile and a half, I don't know. But their cruiser went out there and started shooting them everywhere and back through the middle. Meantime, we were going a little this and this, back and forth. And the old Dutch ship.
Now, you're on a Dutch ship, or you're on a,
I'm on the Republic, still on it.
on the Republic? So
Yeah, but we had a Dutch ship, Bloemfontein, was in our convoy. And in order for him to go slow enough to stay in the convoy, he had to run one screw a wall, listen to a wall, and back and forth, run screw and screw.
Oh, he was faster, is faster.
Sure, he could go faster. But the skipper, the convoy commander, told him not once but a number of times, get back in place, stay in place, don't get out of here. They churned him all the time. And we were plugging along. The time was just pretty good, but we were doing lots of cutting.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up in...
Well, didn't you tell me one time that you had a bunch of extra cargo that everybody threw overboard or something like that?
No, the cruiser did.
The cruiser did.
Yeah, at 7 o'clock in the morning, we were out there, the radio was blaring. About the time the attack came, radio was blaring like we heard it all. The cruiser...
You heard it all?
Oh, hear the radio. We picked up the noise on the radio. You could hear bombs going off and everything. And the cruiser had on the back of it about a $30,000 yacht back there. You know, they all had a fancy one to go back and forth from the peacetime. Boy, they lifted that thing and threw it overboard, machine gunned it, and sunk it right out there. They threw tables, glassware, kitchen tables, and they just unloaded that cruiser.
Get rid of the
Took
weight.
weight off.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the Houston's brand new cruiser. Later got sunk in the Java Sea.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we marveled at throwing that good stuff off and sinking it and so forth. It had 2 airplanes on it, which they both took off. After 7 o'clock in the morning, they took off. Suppose, see what the hell's going on. One came back. But we don't know what happened to the other one. I didn't know today whether it got shot in or landed or didn't land or what.
Yeah.
So we had the one. And when they came back in there, then we kept zigzagging, going south. About must have taken us 2 days to get to well, we had the Dollar Bit yacht that followed us all the way. And when we got down to, I guess maybe, I don't know, was it 1 day, 2 days or something getting into Fiji. We went out to get water, take on water.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was given a card. You check, I'm well, I'm sick, and this, that, and the other, and sign your name, you date it. And we put them all in the package, and the Vanderbilt yacht was turning back to Fiji. However, it got sunk about 4, 5, 6 hours out of Fiji.
Oh, it did?
Oh, yeah, Jap sub surfaced and didn't waste a torpedo, just surfaced and machine gun sunk it.
Hmm.
And so our cards never got home. So we had, after we left there, we headed down towards Brisbane. That's where we went into Brisbane, Australia. It's a long way down there.
Well, you went across the equator.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Wasn't there a big hoorah when you crossed the equator?
Yeah. They had the usual initiation, which is,
Even in the middle of everybody's panic over war, you found time to have initiation for
yeah,
King Neptune.
that was something. And everybody gets something pulled on them. Some guys got their hair cut and across the top
Like
and
Mr. T,
everything.
you know.
And they even pulled a trick on the general, and he didn't appreciate it. He wasn't very good at sport. They put a thing on a commode.
What'd they do to?
They had a commode here, and all the stuff went before this almost. But then the commode has a seat that you put down, and when you get up, it sprays out a stream of water out of there.
Okay.
Big, like a big water hose that it wets you. The further you go out, you get wet down here all the way up. And you don't have no sense to immediately get out this way here. It shoots right at you, and it hits everybody. So pull down on the general, and he didn't appreciate it too much. And first you stand there and you tell them the whole bunch of malarkey which they had cooked up and been on before. And those of us that had never been through had to go through it. I went through it. And then we go through a tunnel. Behind it is water, pushing seawater in behind you. If you don't go fast enough, you'll drown. But I mean, you got to get through there. And you no turn around when you go. It's one way. And when you get out of there, they bring you to another place and they throw you in a tank of water.
Hot oil.
And there's a guy down below that wants to be sure you got good and dumped. And it's a lot of things that they put in there, in the thing. And anyway, we got into Brisbane.
Now, how long did it take you to get to Brisbane? You remember?
I'm gonna guess.
I would say about 10 days.
Christmas day before, either 1 or 2 days before Christmas, got to Brisbane. But we lost one day by being stuck on a reef in the river.
Oh, in
The
Brisbane
river
Harbor?
tide was out, and we got caught and had to wait for the tide to come up to get us all floated again.
Oh, this is in the Brisbane Harbor?
Brisbane River.
Okay.
It's 14 miles from the mouth to Brisbane.
Okay.
14 miles up the river. And on the way up there, everybody's waving, anxious and everything out of houses. The Yanks are here, we're saved. We're saved. And this went on. Oh, we laughed about that. You know, but we got to Brisbane, and there before us, they had, previous to our arrival, a ship that was destined for Singapore. And Singapore had been taken by the Japanese, so they diverted it into Brisbane.
Okay.
And it had anything, you name it, it had it on there. And they had, it was on the pier. This stuff is piled about 20 feet tall.
What is this stuff? I mean, is
Oh,
it food
boxes
or
of-
people or
Oh, it's boxes of stuff that's on the ship.
cannons or?
Oh, it's everything from stationery, pen, pencil, ink sets, knitting yarn. It's got.
ammunition? I mean.
Oh no.
No, this was not.
No, this is
Merchant ship.
Yeah, merchant ship. They had this stuff packed at the dock about 20 feet tall and went for block after block after block. Never room to put it. No warehouses. Nobody to unload it. Everything else. But they left room for people to unload the ship. Well,
She brought it.
we got in there and they said, well, we're going to get you off by 7 o'clock. Well, it ended up being 11 o'clock at night. And
You said this is 2 days before Christmas.
yeah,
Of 41. Okay.
yeah. We,
What was Brisbane like then?
well, I'll get to it in a
Did you
minute.
go into Brisbane or did you just?
You ever been to Fort Worth? Brisbane's just like Fort Worth. Everybody, hi, hello, good morning. How you getting along? That's that. I never saw them before in life, but that's where the people in Brisbane are. Come go out to my house and have dinner with us tonight. They want to hear you talk. This, that, and the other. We're about as interesting to talk to, I guess, to them as they are to us.
Uh-huh.
Their lingo. So we were hauled out to the Ascot racetrack ground.
Mm-hmm.
And there they said, there's some straw, there's a bag. Go stuff it. Get yourself a bed.
Nice.
I stuffed one. All the time I'm wondering where's my bag and I'm afraid I'm gonna lose everything, you know. It's a mess. They'll come in later, don't worry. And so I stuffed the bag. Now here's all it's racetrack. The benches are these seats. Must be 50 of them up in here. They go up here and back in here and they go up here and make it. I went up to the top deck as high as I could go.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know a son of a bitch around, didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
You're by yourself. I went up there and finally got my bag together, and I said, well, I'll rest a while. I'll lay down there, and I went to sleep. Next morning, about 4 o'clock in the morning, clotty, 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 they're practicing the racehorses out there on the racetrack. And that's what they talk about. And you first look over and wonder what it is, and then you find they're running races. They're not running races, but they're warming them up and this, that, and the other. So I got it and got dressed and wondered all about it. By this time I met a lieutenant or two, or we'd been talking and so forth.
Was there a unit on the ship that you were assigned to, or was everybody just...
I was a casual.
You were casual?
Yeah, I wasn't joining nobody.
Okay.
And I was John Day and Toto.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Was everybody casual in that?
Oh, no.
There were a couple of units that were...
Some of us were, there was a artillery unit on it there, and there was a few various other people. But myself and a kid named Ike Parker, Ike was a football player from Alabama. He graduated in 1930, same as I did, and Ike and I became friends. We had a room together. We assigned a room together. So,
Now you're...
he was told, just like I was, get on the ship at so and so. If you're going, where am I going? I don't know. He said, get on there. These are orders. That's all orders I ever had.
Really?
Even to this day. No written order, nothing.
Okay.
So, we were there one day.
Well, now you're what? You're 32 at this time.
I don't know,
Yeah,
41.
that's about right.
41 from, I don't have to count
Yeah,
that.
that's 32. Just
All right, then.
33
anyway,
maybe at the
we
most.
went downtown. And this is where I saw the big thing across there, and it had much my order. Where I said I was going to go. It was like Pung Tain or something, and that was it. I mean, it wasn't where I was going.
Okay.
And we laughed about it. And so we walked downtown just to kind of see what it's like and ride the trams and this, that, and other. Did it. Money, everybody was changing money when you get in a place like that. And nobody had any Australian money, and they hold your hand out and they give you a little bit and you take what's left. Sure, that's about the way you knew about it. I never had a pence, but this, that, and the other. But we got enough change to do what we want to do. So we want to walk down and see the town, talk to some people, and, you know, just kill a little time. And I guess we left 5 or 6 in the afternoon. And if there's any out here, you got woolly beef, you got goats, boiled mutton, and pot after pot, and it greases out. You want some supper, a piece of mutton, eat it.
I love lamb chops.
You don't eat it, that's where that and some bread about all us to eat. So,
I like that.
we thought we'd get some downtown. Surprising, it's not like going in Dallas or some town over here where they got many eating places to go to. You have to hunt and ask questions, and hotels had a restaurant on them. A lot of places didn't have one. You don't find a restaurant. There's a restaurant alone. It's in a hotel somewhere. Different. So anyway, we weren't going to eat a lot anyway. We went down and got a beer or something. I don't like beer. And we had a drink and we got a sandwich or something. And talked to a few Australians and where you Yanks going, this, that, and the other, and we don't know where we're going either. Anyway, I guess we got back at 11:30. Went back to my hut on top of the deck. And when you get ready to leave, nobody tells you to bring your bunk in here or nothing. You just leave it and go. That's where everybody did that. Somebody else gathered this stuff up. So we were just told to get your suitcase and picked up here, and that's it. And that's about the way it went. So Ike and I went down, and we got them when we were told to leave. See, we left, I think it's either Christmas Day, or day before, or day after, one or the other. And we had to go get on Bloemfontein, and then's when we figured out we're going to the Philippines. And that was the only ship that's taking troops. No convoy. So when we got on, Ike and I ended up in the same room again. And there is a...
Now you were on the Republic Brisbane, and
Now
then
we're
changed
on,
ships.
we're on the Dutch ship.
Then you got on the Dutch ship, okay.
Yep. And, the only one ship, not two, just one, that's the one we're on. And we had one unit of the 131st Field Artillery, which is later called the Lost Battalion. And, Dutch servant, Dutch food, Dutch food, good food was good, everything was good. And, we thought we'd have a nice ride. We went inside the strait. So we got nearly to Darwin.
You mean inside the, what do you call it, the
Coral
reef?
Reef.
Okay, you were inside the
If
reef,
you don't get out of the reef till you get past Townsville, way up there.
okay?
And when we got out of the reef, we were met by about 4 shores. And the next thing we got 1 or 2 more.
Mhm.
And we ended up with 7. The shores escorting us. So we went into Darwin. The tide in Darwin is 24 feet. The ship is even here now, and it's going to be up here, and it's back down here, and so forth. Unbelievable, that's tide. That's between the 2 oceans.
Yeah.
Well, all we stopped in for apparently was maybe to get water or something else, and the shore stayed out. Well, when we got through there, we took off. And we started going west and north, west and north. And we ended up going through the Portuguese island called, I forget the name of it. It's south and a little east of Java.
Now, wait.
Samoa?
Samoa or
Samoa,
Sumatra?
No.
No. Now, wait, we're going south and east,
We're going north now.
but north and east? We're going around New Guinea?
Oh, New Guinea's up here. We're going over to the left of New Guinea.
Oh, you're going around.
Oh, we're going left side.
Oh, but you're
New
heading to the
Guinea's all
Philippines.
up in here. We're going this way.
Around and
And we're
then,
going up toward cut through to go to Java.
now wait a minute. Joe, you got an atlas? Do you have an atlas?
And he has to be the motorhome.
In the where?
The motorhome is not here.
Well, let's
He
get
has an atlas in the motorhome.
Hi, in it up in there.
Just a minute.
See, we didn't land there. We went by it. Here's Darwin. See that here?
Yeah.
From Darwin, we head right in general this way. And Timor is right here.
Mm-hmm.
And we kept going this way, okay?
Yeah.
And cut in here and went around Bali, on the east of Bali, right in through here, and turned over west again, hitting the Surabaya.
Yep.
Okay?
Well, Surabaya is,
Capital of Java, or the big.
that's the main.
It's the main port, yeah. So, as we had 7 ashores, a cruiser picked us up somewhere down there. I don't know which one it was this time. And when we got turned into around Java, and we ran Bali, we ran just north of Bali and sailed west to get into Java. As we went around Bali, that's where all the many pigs in the world, 50,000 pigs in there. So anyway.
Well, now, you're just south of the Philippines.
Oh, we're considerably
Yeah,
south
yeah.
of them. We're south of Borneo, down here. Now, as we went around Bali
Mm-hmm.
and headed, we're probably 15, 20 miles in from Surabaya.
Okay.
All the shores left us and went north. Because at that time we was on a big fight in Borneo.
No,
The
they're-
Japanese were coming into Borneo.
Okay.
They left us and headed up in there, and we headed for the port in Surabaya.
Okay.
And in fact, one ship, a Dutch ship, was torpedoed, and they had to beach it, loaded rubber. It was destined to the United States, but that's as far as it got. And the signalman that was on it finally arrived, and he got in my outfit. But, I happened to fit in.
Mm-hmm.
And we got in Surabaya, arrived there, and they took us off about 11 o'clock at night. And we rode, the streets had little bits of green, just enough to show you the direction of the street.
Yeah.
and it carries it out to an airfield. Drops us off.
What, just took you off the ship?
Oh yeah, we unloaded the ship. The attaché came on board, told them down there, said, you guys leave these women alone, said, you'll get in serious trouble. This, that, and the other, that's the usual thing. So, anyway, we went to Surabaya. Surabaya, we drove about,
You want me to look?
boy, I don't think it'll show very well. See, there's Surabaya right there.
Mm-hmm.
And we had left Darwin here
Mm-hmm.
and sailed in this way.
Yep.
And when the Bali was right there, we went east of Bali and then turned left again. And so meantime, as we were getting in about probably 5 or 6, 10 miles from Surabaya, where we were told that a submarine had surfaced and machine gunned the ship down there, and the way it dived, it's coming to where we are and should be there in 2 hours. And they got us standing on deck out there. The sharks out there about 30 feet long, having a ball. And everybody's got a knife. He's going, if he gets sunk, he's going to have a knife to kill the first shark. Them. It wouldn't do any good. Anyway, we finally got in there and stopped us. And I'll bet you there's 250, 300 ships there ahead of us. They were in there.
Surabaya?
Yeah, all kinds of ship, all the world was in there. And so they gave us first priority because we had a lot of troops on board.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it came us unloaded at 11 o'clock at night. And then we went from there into Malang. Malang is about 40 kilometers away. And that's where we were on an airfield.
Okay.
So we arrived there like, got in there late night, 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning before you get there, and you find a bed down, you get a little bit of rest, and little by little you get up the next morning, you look around and see, where are we? Well,
This was the name of the town was Maklan?
Malang,
Malang.
M-A-L-A-N-G, Malang. It's about 40 kilometers from Surabaya. Surabaya is the port.
Mhm.
We're back in on the airfield, Malang,
Yeah.
and which is a Dutch airfield. Now, we'd been there 1 or 2 days, and
Now, what? Do you have any idea what day this was? This was. So this is your.
I've lost the
Okay.
time,
Okay, but it's around the first of the year. But is it a week later, 2 weeks later, or?
Oh, it's, we were a week getting into, probably going around the way we went to get into Malang, probably a week.
Okay.
And, meantime, I was assigned, I was interviewed by full colonel, artillery, on the ship before we got there. Ike was interviewed, and I was interviewed by a lieutenant colonel who had this battalion, lost what I call Lost Battalion, National Guard outfit. And he asked me, he said, how would you like to be in my outfit? I said, I don't like your outfit at all. I think it stinks. I saw your people operate maneuvers down in Louisiana last year, and I said, I thought it's a pitiful exhibit. I told him what I thought. He said, that's all. I left. They called Ike in. Interview Ike. Then I was interviewed with the full colonel. He didn't ask me how I'd like to be in his outfit. He said, what's been your experience? I told him the battery come out of here, and this, that, and the other. And I told him what I told his lieutenant colonel. He said, don't worry. He says, you ain't not going there. You go with me. And I was assigned here. Ike was prisoner of war for 3 years.
No, it was Ike stayed with that unit?
Well, yeah, he was signed to it on the board.
Well, what did that? Then Ike was. This is Ike.
Ike Parker.
Okay.
He was prisoner of war. That unit was prisoner of war for 3 years.
Where were they? Did they stay in?
Oh, they were captured in Java. What's
Okay.
left of them, and I don't know where all they hauled them to. They were various parts of the world somewhere.
Okay.
But anyway, I saw Ike 3 or 4 years later, and he's still a captain. He just got released. I'm a lieutenant colonel,
Yeah.
and breaks the game. So anyway, I had a battery of field artillery in Malang,
Okay.
and beside me was the Lost Battalion, which they had nothing to do with me. I'm my own boss. I work under another deal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, having been bombed several times the Japanese bombers come and bomb everything here.
The airfield was vulnerable, was a
Yeah,
target.
but we lived in a bunch of houses here with slate roofs, and you hit one up here, and the whole slate comes down, the whole roof's all gone. The monkeys are all over the place and everything else, so, I had taken all our supplies and stashed them out away from there, in a wooded area where we were gonna hide them. And had a few guards, necessary guards to watch them when I'm not there and so forth. So, I didn't have them right in the camp. So, all of a sudden, we'd been there, God, we must have been there 2 or 3 weeks, I don't remember.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, the soldier that was the signal on that ship that was beached was assigned to me from Attaché or somebody told me. So I heard his experience, whatever happened to him and so forth, went to that. And next they had a lieutenant that was picked up in Borneo, and he had been on an airplane headed to the Philippines and dropped him off in Borneo. And no way to get out of Borneo except that was a Dutch plane, that's as far as you're going to go. Well, he became hysterical and was giving the Dutch a fit. So the Dutch wired down that come get him or something, which I didn't know about this at the time. But anyway, they flew him back down,
Signed him to you?
signed to me, and I found out that he's a gin hound. He goes downtown and gets a bushel basket full of gin. He drinks gin out of the bottle like this. And I said, boy, you're not for me, boy. You ain't gonna last very long here. So I told the colonel, I said, you want a lieutenant? I'll give you one right quick. He's a gin hound, but maybe you can do something with him. So, all right, I'll take him. I transferred him over to him. I got rid of him. He was going to live in my house where I was living. And I said, no part. No part. Yeah. And so, while we were there,
How long were you there?
I'm thinking, we must have been there a month. We got there in January, and we didn't leave till early March.
Okay, and
So, we had initially about 14 Jap bombers, maybe 16. Flew over high.
yeah.
They were looking at the situation over, I'm sure, and getting their bearings. And they came back and made a run this way. Meantime, we have scampered out away from the middle of the camp, out in coffee plantation, which big leaves and so forth, in a ditch where you could find a ditch, not knowing what was going to take place. Well, we could see them when they dropped the arms out of the plane. They dropped that yonder, and they go in a big arc this way.
Mm-hmm.
And we had one 105 stationed like here, one over there, and one over here, one of the 4 of them out. Couldn't shoot up there,
Yeah.
but we'd fixed them up, set them on corrector 10 at 1,000 yards. That was to make them shoot and burst over the airfield. We borrowed some ammunition from the Dutch. We didn't have any. We had 74 British 75s, no ammunition, and we had 24 or something 105s, no ammunition. They got that from the Dutch. We had scattered things around. I was like, I'm going to say, I was probably within 50 yards of this gun here. I knew the others were around, but I couldn't see them where it was. And the boys had dug some holes around the thing to get in the hole. And I was with the sergeant over here in a ditch that we'd been able to find it.
Yeah.
And we watched his bombs falling. Sergeant said, oh my God. I said, well, if it hit you, don't worry about it. Don't worry. You know, I was kidding him. You're sitting there watching them fall from 14 to 20,000 feet up there, and you see them all the way down. And the closer they get, and they get louder and louder. Well, the first one burst about 5 steps from that 105 on this side, covered this fella up that's in the hole right beside it. And I'm probably 30 yards away or 40, and there was an engine. There was an engine that saw us over there, and he came over and ducked down with us. And when about the time the shell's about to fall, he's standing up like this looking, and a fragment right through just split his lip or cheek on this side. And we hollered, get down, get down, get down.
Come here, Charlie.
You know? So they went through and dropped this mess of bombs through here, and then they looped over to the right and made a circle and dropped them coming back the other way.
Yeah.
And when they got through, the longer it took to God, the further we get out of the way from the same things. And we get our house, go back and get our house ordered and so forth.
Why don't you wind up now and then continue later?
No, keep on going.
Oh.
And
why don't you turn it?
No, I'll get here.
Oh. all
the
right.
the next morning, why, we had 6 Zeros come in. And they're at treetop level. They're strafing the airfield and strafing the hangar that's down there. And by this time, we only got about 1 or 2 planes as the Far East Air Force. Out of Manila, out of Philippines. We must have had a total of 5, one way or another. But this time we had a 17E, not a 17E, the old model 17, no tail gun. And about the time the next day it went off somewhere, and then we got 2 in, we lost 1, and every day we gain 1 and we lose 1, this, that, and the other. And the Borneo fight is going on now. It started up there with the whole Japanese reported to have 100,000 ships up there, 100,000 people coming down and make landings, and they're around Borneo. And these little destroyers, cruisers we had, were going to meet them up there. And our Far East Navy's nothing. So, I guess it was about a week, 2 weeks later, we had a dive bomb squadron. But this was later, after those ships arrived and they started landing in Bali.
What ships?
Japanese ships that were up in Borneo. They've now moved in a couple of weeks or maybe 10 days, what it was. They're now coming down into Bali and
Starting to invade?
oh yeah, you know. So in fact, one Japanese skipper had a destroyer that parked it right up to the pier where they're going to unload, you know.
Really?
When the dive bombers, we had 12 dive bombers, came over, lost every damn one of them.
The U.S. had?
Yeah, well, that was the whole squadron in about 2 days. Those dive bombers were plugged at those ships landed at Bali, and the skipper of a Japanese plane that parked his boat there they got scared, or somebody did. They rolled off a couple of depth charges while they were parked and just blew the bottom out of the boat. It settled down right there.
Their own boat?
Their own fault, yeah. So this happened once, I know of, could happen again. We must have been there in there 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Well,
In where?
in Malahan.
Well, you said until March.
Yeah, probably. Well, I was on my birthday. I'm on a ship getting out of there, so it was middle of the latter part getting in there. I got a letter from Colonel, who was at John C. Carter.
Okay.
His headquarters was John C. Carter.
Yeah.
I got a letter from him. I started reading the letter and I got a telegram and the phone rings. The colonel, he said, "You get my letter?" I said, "Got it, haven't had time to read it, just got it. Also got a telegram." All right, he said, "I'll tell you what they're going to tell you. And Japanese are laying in so forth and so on, they're gonna land up so-and-so up there. He said, I want you to transfer enough men to the Lost Battalion to fill them up to full strength, transfer all the equipment to them, he said, what you're gonna take, and get your ass in the first train out of there, it comes to Judge Carter. So then I turned around and read the letter, and the telegram, they all said the same thing. So the first train that left out there is going to be about 11 o'clock, thereabouts. I didn't have a lot of time. So I got with the colonel and asked him what he needed, and who and men and so forth, and I gave him everybody that fit. I ended up with about probably 30 men out of the battalion, out of the battery. Maybe a few more. And we go down, we book passage on the train, so to say. We have an attaché who was operating around there, and we used him to do this, that, and the other, and he told us where to go, and so forth. So the cars that we used to go to the train were left at the train. We had enough time to get us down there. Keys and all. Throw the keys away, leave the car. We're leaving. We got on the train, and these little trains takes about 3 of them to make one of ours.
Yeah.
They go down through this coffee plantation, peep, 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 going about 60 miles an hour. So we travel there. A sergeant that I had got drunk and fell back in the train, and so I transferred him to Lost Town too. Couldn't find him where he was. Then I presume they'd find him or something. And so we got to Judge Carter. We were all like a gang from the port. We were walking down to where we're supposed to go, and Japanese stores or everything yonder, and we had no food. We had nothing. So every time we find a store that's canned of anything, we buy it. And not many cigarettes. So we end up down there. Everybody's got a little something that they picked up. And we got down to the port, and they told us that you're going to get on that ship right over there. That's about the kind of instruction.
Now,
we
were
got.
you in Jakarta, or
Judge Carter.
are you sure you weren't inside Surabaya?
Oh, no, we're going to Judge Carter. We're on the other end of Java.
Okay,
Surabaya is over here, and Judge Carter's on out here.
okay.
And we had traveled by train to Bandung.
Okay.
Bandung. Bandung is short of Jakarta,
Okay.
but in essence it's real close, but almost part of it.
Yeah.
But the port is at Bandung.
Okay.
Jakarta is the capital.
All right.
All right, we're walking right down the middle of the street. You guys got your rifles and the pistol and this, that, and the other, just going down there, carrying your own stuff. We even going to stores or buying them you buy. Finally get down to the port. There's 100 Spitfires, British Spitfires, just arrived the day before, still in the crates, boxed up out there.
Okay.
There are a lot of other cars, Cadillacs, Buicks, Fords, driven up out here, nobody in them. We parked the cars we brought. We came, where we first got off the train, no cars for us, so we walk. We must have walked a mile and a half. We're asking people, where's the port? And
You got down there.
hands, and we finally get out of the port. So we end up getting on the ship, just like you were. We're on the deck.
Now, is this ship eventually the ship you're going to get out of in Java on?
Yeah, that's right.
And I want to know is how did you end up with a suitcase worth a all this,
Oh, I had men help me. I carried one. I had one foot locker. I had nothing else at all. I shipped the other trunk home
had you from where?
from when I was in
Bangdu?
Malong.
Malong, okay.
I went over to Surabaya, and I took a truckload of guys that had extra suitcase or anything was sent. I took it all.
Mm-hmm.
Put it up there, and I put a sling down the ship, and loaded on the ship.
That was a whole Foot Locker worth of
That
stuff?
was everything that I could muster to get in here and what I was going to carry with me.
Well, that was, you got some dishes?
I had some golf clubs and everything else. You remember, I took a dozen Silver King golf balls, and Japs got them. My clubs were there, threw them in.
Well, I remember all the dishes and carvings and
Well, what happened is this.
that thing down at your studio.
I told my men
That was Daddy's.
that we're going to take everything that anybody don't wants to ship
I
home,
don't know what he
take it, and I'll load them on, I'll take it back over. So I went back to Surabaya. We got them in bombing raid on the way in town. Japanese planes were bombing where we were going to go, the port down there. Okay? So we stood and watched the whole show. We're about 12 miles out,
Yeah.
and we see the planes going. And we messed around a while and watched it. And so we stood on the side of the cement things that's over here, just that. Finally, we got back in there and took on again. We go down to the American Embassy, the Navy headquarters.
Now wait, I'm lost. Which time are you talking this time?
I'm taking some stuff to the port, ship home.
Okay, so
And
you
I'm
just,
still at Malong.
okay, well,
I got a
that's
truckload.
Okay, so you took a truckload back to the port and shipped it back to Brisbane.
All I did down there, take down to the port, and everybody's supposed to put a name on it.
Yeah.
Whoever goes to the United States. I put it in there and unloaded on a sling. They had a sling on the ship. And he just picked all the bags up like this and swung them aboard.
Okay.
I was satisfied as then. Well, I turn around and go back to Navy headquarters. I get in there and a captain comes by and said, "Could we borrow your truck?" I said, "What for?" Well, we got all the submarines brought all the blueprints or mimeographs or what do you call it for maps. It's a thing. It's about this thick.
Mm-hmm.
It's all different maps of all the Philippines. The submarines sneaked them in, and you take those and run off more maps.
Yeah, I know, the brown,
Okay.
brown lines. we call
Yeah.
them.
So I said, well, what do I got to do? So in the meantime, I hadn't unloaded the truck for the ship. So thinking they got a whole lot of stuff to do, I got out there and me and another guy unloaded the stuff out the trunk and they brought this little thing out here. It's about 6 feet long. Christ almighty, if I'd known that, I wouldn't have unload the truck. But I did, unload it, and he got in with us. We drove down and took those, and we put it in a train. We sealed the lock on the train, and he said those had to get down to Jakarta, and they're going to be flown south. Well, later on, somebody gave him a Purple Heart for saving those lithographic plates.
Yeah.
He got a Purple Heart for that. All he did is bum my truck. I helped him a little down there, and he got a blue. And so what this came about,
Purple Heart.
some months later, I was in Brisbane on a very short visit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there in the officers club eating dinner, and we were talking about guys getting the Purple Heart and so forth. And I said, you know, you don't have to be wounded to get the Purple Heart. He said, oh, yes, you do. I said, I'll tell you what I'll do. See that guy sitting right there, the Purple Heart? Captain. Yeah. I'll bet you £5 that he didn't get wounded to get the Purple Heart. I'll call it. Now I know what he got it for. So I went over and asked him, would you tell this gentleman what they give you the Purple Heart for? Yeah, those damn lithograph plates. You up in the safe. I took his $5, stuck it in my pocket, and I didn't tell him the difference. I got £5. That's $15. So, and, we didn't even put a date. And we all turned his cards over, and they were sent back by this little $1 a year yacht club that threw depth charges and so forth.
Yeah.
And he got torpedoed and sunk It was sunk with a submarine, sunk it the first day out of Fiji Islands. So
Yeah.
we were told the cars never got home. Now, after we got to Australia, we had a colonel down there that was made intelligence officer, and he was so damn smart that nobody could call home, write home, or nothing. We couldn't even tell anybody where we were. They didn't want the Japs to know where we were.
Yeah.
And as a result, anything we did in Australia, to wire, cable, or call, nothing went through. So I did not call then. I couldn't do anything about it. Now, and when we got to Java,
Now, wait, one other thing I want you to say is you said your order said to go to Plum.
Plum.
P-L-U-M-E?
PLU, it's right here. And when we saw this sign in the right before Big Australian Bridge in Brisbane,
Yep.
Plum, we said, gee, we're here.
That was Melbourne, I think, but anyway.
No, it's in Brisbane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's in Brisbane. That's where we were.
But you said it's a code name for
It
where?
was a code name for a Philippine island.
Okay, for the
See?
code, yeah.
But we didn't realize that. We knew we were supposed to go to the Philippines. But when we saw the code name Plum, where our orders carried us to, we were laughing. We knew we weren't supposed to go to Brisbane in the first place.
Yeah, okay.
But then, and when I got to Java, we arrived in Java probably the latter part of January,
Yeah.
maybe the 12th, 15th maybe. We had sailed on the day after Christmas, if I remember correctly, from Brisbane. And that would be 4 or 5 days, and must have taken us 15, 20 days
Okay.
going up there. And then when we got to Java, we had no communication. We had nothing for a while. And after we'd been there a little bit, we finally found that we could call home if we